Welcome back, everyone. Well, we have major breaking huge news in regards to President Biden's Build Back Better Act. This effectively destroys the Democrats and President Biden's chance of ever passing a major social safety net bill just like this one. It also ruins America's chance at ever getting any legislation passed in regards to climate change, and all negotiations are essentially going to be over. This is huge news. We'll be talking about it all in today's video, but before we do, as always, make sure you guys do a couple things for me. Number one, give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash a like button. I would appreciate that. Just help with the YouTube algorithm. It does support me and my channel, and it is free to do so. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and that little notification bell as well. That little bell will notify you every single solitary time we do upload a brand new video right here on this channel or go live. Whichever one, you'll be notified, so make sure you have notifications turned on. And also, we are going to be doing our next cash giveaway when we do at 20,000 subscribers. So you'll have to be subscribed to be entered in that giveaway. You might as well get it out of the way now. So with that being said, let's get started and get right down to it because we have a lot to cover. Well, if you had to take a guess, take a gamble at which specific person, which specific lawmaker basically undermined the Democrats and President Biden's chance of ever having a victory, well, you'd probably guess correctly. That is Mr. Senator Joe Manchin. Yes, Joe Manchin has historically been an absolute total nightmare to progressives and ambitious Democrats hoping to get their legislation through Congress. And in this example right here, I don't think he has done this much damage yet to the Democrats and President Biden. This example right here, it just shows how disastrous he really is to the Democrats. So what went down? What occurred here? Well, Senator Joe Manchin said no to the Build Back Better Act, and this effectively ends negotiations that would expand the nation's social safety net. This is an all-encompassing bill that would have helped so many Americans. Yes, it is extremely costly. It is certainly controversial, but there is really a lot of good in this bill. Manchin has always been a key holdout for the Democrats over this legislation. He has shared his concerns of the massive tax and spending bill and how it would potentially lead to more soaring inflation. He believes that this legislation would exacerbate the current economic situation in this country right now, and he revealed his decision on Fox News Sunday in an interview. He said, quote, "And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there." He continued, "This is a no on this legislation. I have tried everything I know to do, and the president has worked diligently. He's been wonderful to work with. He knows I've had concerns and the problems I've had, and you know, the thing we should all be directing our attention towards, the variant, a COVID that we have coming back at us in so many different aspects and different ways. It's affecting our lives again." This $1.9 trillion spending plan would have significantly expanded the nation's social safety net, and it would have tackled so many different issues. It would have reduced Americans' costs in regards to childcare and healthcare. It also would have tackled climate change. This would have been the most progressive bill in American history in regards to climate change and would have done so much. But Manchin's vote was necessary. The Democrats were planning on using the budget reconciliation process once again, which would have meant they only need 51 votes, with Vice President Kamala Harris breaking the tie. So they needed all 50 senators on board in order to pass this bill, and so Manchin's support for this legislation was absolutely incumbent, and with him saying no, the Democrats wouldn't be able to get it done because the bill has unanimous GOP opposition. Not one Republican has even expressed an ounce of favorability of this piece of legislation. Even post-interview, after the interview, Manchin's office once again reiterated Manchin's opposition to the bill, saying, quote, in the statement, "I have always said if I can't go back home and explain it, I can't vote for it. Despite my best efforts, I cannot explain the sweeping Build Back Better Act in West Virginia, and I cannot vote to move forward on this mammoth piece of legislation." Now, according to sources, according to a person familiar with the discussions between Senator Manchin and Joe Biden, it was clear that it was heading in this direction, as President Biden was no longer confident that he can get the West Virginia Democrat on board with his bill. But White House officials were surprised Sunday morning when Manchin informed them that he could not vote for the bill and had already arrived at a final decision. According to one senior administration official, they had said it it was, quote, totally a surprise, and Manchin even told the White House that they were the first to know before he even told his staff. Of course, the White House was surprised, but also were progressives and liberal media pundits as well. They took to social media, such as Politico's Sam Stein. He actually couldn't hide his disappointment when he tweeted, quote, lots of process on the Manchin news, but from a substantive standpoint, it's just objectively devastating for the planet. The last best chance at climate change legislation is gone. So certainly a huge setback for Biden's presidential agenda. The White House then fired back, taking off the gloves with Senator Joe Manchin. And according to the White House press secretary Jen Psaki, she actually accused Manchin of breaking his word with the president in a statement, saying, quote, if his comments on Fox and written statement indicate an end to that effort, they represent a sudden and inexplicable reversal in his position and a breach of his commitments to the president and the senator's colleagues in the House and Senate. Psaki also added that the Manchin had personally handed Biden a $1.8 trillion framework that he could get behind. So some hope here, but we doubt that the Democrats and President Biden would get behind Manchin's version of the bill, because Manchin may be the only one in support of this. Now, according to reports, the White House will continue to press Manchin on whether or not he may be able to backtrack from his position, but this does appear to be quite a final and conclusive decision. It may have looked different behind closed doors, but the White House did previously say this week that it was having, quote, productive discussions with Senator Manchin, but of course, with him being historically conservative, we know his positions, we know his outlook, and unfortunately, this is where we have arrived. And in Psaki's statement, she also put things into perspective for Americans in her statement, also saying, quote, Senator Manchin will have to explain to those families paying $1,000 a month for insulin why they need to keep paying that instead of $35 for the vital medicine. He will have to explain to the nearly 2 million women who would get the affordable daycare they need to return to work why he opposes a plan to get them the help they need. She continued, maybe Senator Manchin can explain to the millions of children who have been lifted out of poverty in part to the child tax credit why he wants to end a program that is helping achieve this milestone. We cannot. And the child tax credit program especially is super popular among the American people. It did lift millions and millions of people out of poverty, a record-breaking number that we have not seen from any other social legislation in American history. It really worked wonders, and we've also gotten overall a very positive review of it from our people here, our subscribers on this channel. In the comment section, we've talked about the CTC numerous times, and to be frank, I really did think it was going to be extended for another year. I really thought that the Democrats were going to be able to achieve that, but unfortunately, again, without Joe Manchin's vote on this legislation, because they're not going to take it out of the Build Back Better Act, they're not going to separate the two, it's not going to happen. So that is where the bill stands right now. It is essentially dead. I want to get your thoughts and personal opinions on this matter. Do you believe that Joe Manchin was right in saying no, that he should have said no? Do you believe that he should have just hopped on board and did this for the American people, and you are in favor of the Build Back Better Act? Or do you believe it's yet another spending disaster from the Democrats that would just lead to more inflation and more economic devastation for Americans across the country? What are your thoughts? Let us know down below in the comment section. I am curious. Let's get a bit of a discussion, some dialogue going on. More news is to come. I don't think we'll have any more updates or developments on the Build Back Better Act. That is stagnant right now and at a standstill, so I don't think we'll have any news with that, but certainly we will update you guys on other various topics. All updates in the news can be found right here on this channel. This is your one-stop shop. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button. I would appreciate that. If you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click that big red button and that notification bell. Also, if you want to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use the links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms Robinhood and or Webull. You get some free stocks, some of them valued up to thousands of dollars in some cases, so let me know what stocks you do get. And if you want to connect me on social media, I am on Instagram at Logan Cohn, LOGANKOHN, right there on your screen. And maybe I will give you a follow back, a little bit of a shout out there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one.